Another silly season domino has fallen as Park Kligerman has officially announced he will not return to big machine racing in 2025 and will only be going part-time in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty major breaking news as it has been officially announced by Park Kligerman himself on his Money Lap podcast that he will not be returning to big machine racing in 2025, and also confirmed today that he will only be going part-time in the 2025 season. Park Kligerman has been racing full-time for many years and has also been part-time for many years as well. Drive for organizations like Henderson Motorsports in the Craftsman Truck Series, and also got a really good chance and opportunity to drive for big machine racing starting in 2023, where he's, I believe, unfortunately did not make the playoffs in the 2023, actually made the playoffs, in 2023, but did not end up picking up a victory. So far this year, Park Kligerman has had a very solid season. I believe is 40 to 45 points above the cutoff line, and has a really strong chance and opportunity to go out and win maybe some races by the end of this year. He's in one of the biggest underdog stories over the last 10 to 15 years. I remember when Parker was considered to be the next big thing. He was driving for teams like Brad Keselowski Racing back in the day in the early 2010s and was a Team Penske development driver in the early days of the sport. Then he got a really good chance and opportunity after getting fired, I believe, halfway through the year with Brad Keselowski Racing in 2012. He went over to Red Horse Racing and got his first career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series victory. And then he's been kind of doing this thing. He went to Kyle Busch Motorsports in 2013, drove for them, didn't have the greatest season, had a couple standout performances, but generally was not a great year for Park Kligerman in the 2013 season. Then in 2014, he got called up by Swan Racing, and that team I don't think even made it through the whole entire season, and they had issues with funding for what I remember back in the 2014 season. Then Parker's been racing for organizations like Henderson Motorsports, like I mentioned. He got a win with them back in 2017, and then he also got a win with them in 2022 at Mid-Ohio. That's why he got the chance and opportunity to go race for them full-time in 2023, that being Big Machine Racing, and he's had a lot of success. Then he put full focus this year on driving only for Big Machine Racing. He announced late last year that he had basically made a decision to just focus on running full-time in the Xfinity Series, but will no longer be racing full-time. As for Park Kligerman, it's his own decision. Parker's had a really solid career. He's, like I said, he's been one of the biggest underdog stories. But not only that, he's been working with NBC for many years doing the Cup side of things. He will probably continue doing that going into 2025, as Parker did confirm today that he basically will be pursuing opportunities with TV as well. Look, Parker's still a very relatively young race car driver, and I do think that Parker will be at least part-time. I think he confirmed that today as well. He'll be part-time in the 2025 season. Now, big question is, what team could Parker drive for in 2025? I would have to imagine that Henderson Motorsports is the most likely team that he's going to end up driving for next year. I know they had a good working relationship with Stephen Parsons so far this year, so I imagine that Parker will be part-time with Henderson and Trucks and maybe part-time with another organization for next year. I think Parker deserves to still be racing, but he's making his own decision to kind of retire from full-time racing, but at least to still be around in the sport and working in some major capacity. I guarantee most likely will be working the NBC, and that's probably what he's going to be doing in 2025. And now the other big question, who's going to drive the 48 car next year? Because that 48 car is going to be fully funded by Big Machine, Spike Coolers, and the other companies that do sponsor that 48 car. I think there's a lot of drivers who could be in that car. Maybe someone like a Zane Smith. Zane Smith has not announced anything currently for the 2025 season, and we do know there's been rumors of him going to front row, but Kevin Harvick has also said that it's not officially confirmed that he's going to be headed there, so maybe this is where Zane Smith ends up. Another driver that could end up here is maybe someone from the Truck Series, like maybe someone out of nowhere could end up here. I think Nick Sanchez could be another driver to watch for that could get a chance and opportunity to get behind the wheel of this seat. Nick had worked with Big Machine Racing, I believe, back in 2022 before going full-time with Rev Racing in 2023. There has been rumors and speculation about Nick Sanchez maybe moving up to Xfinity. I'd have to imagine, because of the past working relationship they've had, I'd have to think that Nick Sanchez is the most likely to get behind the wheel of this car in 2025. I think he's ready to make the move for sure. I think he'd be a really good candidate. Maybe someone out of nowhere like a Corey LaJoie ends up here. There's rumors he could go to the 51 for Rickroll Racing next year, but there's also a chance that he could end up somewhere else in 2025 as well, like maybe going to McAnally Hilgeman, or could go to the 48 car. That could certainly be a possibility. At this point, though, going back to talk about Parker Kligerman, it's sad to see that he's retiring from full-time racing, but at the same time, he's had a very solid racing career, and it's going to be really, like I said, sad to not see him racing full-time. He's had a couple really good opportunities this year. I go back to Daytona, where I believe finished in third or second position. I go back to Atlanta, where he finished runner-up. I would love to see Parker win before the end of the year, kind of have a send-off moment with Big Machine Racing, and be able to close out a really great full-time career in NASCAR. Maybe in the future he decides to go full-time once again in 2025, but nonetheless, congratulations to Parker on a really great career. Hope he does get the opportunity again, though, many years down the road to go full-time, because he's still a relatively young driver. I think he's only 33 or 34, if I remember correctly, so he's still relatively young. It'd be great to see him have another shot and opportunity at a great opportunity going forward. Let's look at the rest of the silly season, though. Obviously, there's a lot of teams that haven't announced anything at this point. Calling, they're fully set for next year. Christian Eckes, Daniel Dye, and Josh Williams will be full-time in the team. Harrison Burton has been linked to AM Racing for next year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He'll likely replace Hailie Deegan potentially, but there's other drivers who could get behind the wheel of that 15 car. We do think Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier also will be back with the respective Junior Motorsports organization. We know Connor Zilisch will make his Xfinity Series debut this weekend at Watkins Glen. He'll, of course, be in the 88 car next year. And then, of course, some other drivers that could be making some pretty big news. We know Shane Van Gisbergen is moving up, of course, to the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025 with Trackhouse Racing. We also know some other drivers have not announced anything at this point. There's some other big moves coming down the pipeline, especially on the Cup side as well. There's some drivers, futures uncertain, like a Bubba Wallace, for example, and we could see drivers like Carlos Gerber come out of retirement, but we could also see some other drivers make some pretty big moves down the road. But going back to Parker, congratulations on a great career. Also, like I said, Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer, they're moving over next year to Haas Factory. But again, going back to Parker, congratulations on a great career in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, man, and we wish you the best of luck going forward on what you're going to be doing in your racing career. Again, I do think it'll be part-time, most likely in the Truck Series. That's my guess going into next year. Hopefully, Parker can have the chance and opportunity to be really, really competitive going forward, whatever opportunity comes into play for him going down the road. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What do you think the future is in store for Parker Kligerman? Do you think he'll ever come back full-time maybe in the future, or do you think it was just done altogether racing full-time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think also takes the 48 car next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we are going to have more videos dropping. We're also going to have a Penske video dropping later today on the channel for the race at Watkins Glen. Tomorrow, we're going to have a NASCAR news video. We're also going to have a silly season update dropping tomorrow as well. Then on Saturday, we're going to have multiple SVG videos potentially. We're also going to have reactions to Cup Series qualifying. We're also going to have on Sunday the Cup Series race review. And if SVG doesn't win, we'll still likely do a video unless he crashes out. And we got a lot of awesome and great content dropping over the course of the next couple of weeks that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. And I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.